Okay, Brucey, so now we're going to do some of the effects that you were looking for. So I'm going to create a new project. File, new project. The project is actually the timeline, so it's the part down here. It's not the event where all the media comes into. Let's do some cinema effects. Okay, because you said you wanted to do things like old-fashioned movie vibes and what have you. So let's go in, and I'm just going to take one angle. So let's take this angle, drag it onto the timeline. Okay, there we go. So we've got an angle now.
The iPhone over there, we got
with audio. Okay, so now the first thing you want to do really is balance the video clip. Maybe this is going to bore you a bit, but stick with me. So let's just lock it off there. If you click over here on this little triangle, this is your, so that's a symbol for color space. You can also push Command 6. It'll take you into your color corrections panel. Just give us some more space to work with here. And inside your color corrections panel, you've got color, saturation, and exposure. Now, if you load your, what's it called? Show in viewer scopes. You load your scopes, Command 7. And you choose to show 4 scopes. Now I can see how much light I've got coming in, what my red, green, blue balance is, what my flesh tone balance is. I'll show you now why this stuff's important. So watch this scope over here. See how it's hitting 100 luma points. If I grab my highlights here, see how it's bringing down the brightness? It might seem like all it's doing is bringing down the brightness, but it's actually changing the dynamic range of the clip. So if you see my shirt looks a little bit dark, let's take the midtones up a little bit. Okay. You can bring up the shadows a little bit. Okay, now we've got something that looks better. And to preview, I can bring the color board in and out with that preview. Saturation looks pretty good, but the red looks a bit rubbish. The rainbows look a bit rubbish. So I'm going to take the master saturation and bring it up a bit. See, I can desaturate it, or I can give it a lot more saturation. And then color. If I want to change the white balance of the whole thing, I can use the master color, or I can change the shadows, the midtones, or the highlights. If I change the master, look what it does. So if I wanted to create like a cool yellowy hipster vibe, I could do that, right? But if I want to use an effect, this is where it gets cool. Down here, I've got transitions, which is, let me just create a cut here quickly. So I'm going to cut here. Okay, so now I've just created 2 clips. And if I want to transition between these 2 clips, so watch this.
the iPhone camera.
Okay, now let's say I want to transition between those 2 clips. I can go through my transitions. Let's say I want to use, there's a cool one actually. Let's use divide. Divide's quite cool. So I grab divide and I drop it in between. Now watch what it does.
I've got the Fuji camera, and I've got that Fuji camera.
Cool, do you see that divide effect? I'm going to do it again.
And I've got that Fuji.
Aye, buena. One more time. I'll do it one more time. Sorry, I'm buggering around.
iPhone camera.
Okay, watch.
And I've got the Fuji camera, and I've got that Fuji.
Okay, so there's transitions that you can do, which are quite cool, but I think what you're looking for, which you're missing, so here is transition effects. Over here next to it is visual effects. Now look at this, dude. This is where you've got millions of visual effects. If you want to do a 50s TV effect, so black and white with grain, the mouse is getting a bit sticky. I can grab that 50s effect and drag it on here, and now in real time I can actually see a 50s TV effect. You see? Now undo that, Command Z. One of my favorite ones, there's a camera effect. Let's just see what we've got here. I've got bad TV, that's probably grainy. Let's drop that on, let's have a look. There you go. Okay. I know that's what you're looking for, and there's millions of options. Let's go down to the camera effect. Camcorder, this is cool. So if you want to do that kind of, you know, shot on a camcorder look. So that's basically it, Brucey. You've got your 2 sets of effects. You've got crossfades here, millions of crossfades, and then you've got your actual effects here. You've also got audio effects like reverb and distortion and all sorts of things. But these 2 little controls over here determine what effects you're using. I'm just going to find one more, and then I'm going to show you what we can do with it. I really want the camera one. Let me see if I can look it up. Camera. Is it 35mm? Is it film? Ah, there we go. No, that's still not the one I'm after. Let me just see if I can find it, because it's really cool. And then I will show you how you can adjust these, so you can customize them, you know, after the fact. Where was this thing? Let's just go video only. Vignettes, tritones, squares, time code. Come on, come on. Where's it? Where's it? Where's it? Where's it? I want to find this one because I think you'll dig it a lot. Where's it? Where's it? Security. Okay, let's do security camera. It's a bit silly, but here we go. Okay, so now footage looks like it's on a security camera. Okay. Now what you can do is you can go up to your film properties, and you've loaded security camera. And you can say how many scan lines you want. You can say if you want a vignette around the outside, you can degrade it, so you can there you go, pixelate it, so it looks really all crazy. And security, you can actually change the date time value so it's real. You can change this text. You can say Paul's camera, and then it actually changes it in the frame. So dude, any effect you can think of is built into Final Cut. Let me know if there's something you're specifically looking for. Okay, bye.